Hello, this is Romeo Cat Computers, and today I will be showcasing this little video game I made in x86 assembly. So just like the operating system I showed in my last video, it's completely bootable and self-contained, and it will run on just about any IBM compatible PC, old and new. It also uses the 80 by 25 16 color text mode, so it should even work on the oldest of CGA systems. So anyway, on with the game. So it's called George's Computer, and I'll show you what you have to do. So to summarize this, basically you have a slow 386 computer and you want it to be faster, so you tell your friend Carter. He says he has an i3-87 math coprocessor you can use, and so the game is basically you go to his house and grab it. And here's a letter from him telling you that he'll be running some errands, but you're still welcome to go in his house. And now with a bit of controls, we're in the game. So you notice a few things. There's the character. You can go up, down, left, right using the W, A, S, and D. There's a bit of dialogue down here which will change depending on what you're doing. And then you may go over red areas to interact with it by pressing enter. For example, I don't have it yet, so it says I don't have it yet. And over here we have some objectives to complete. It's a very simple game, although for my abilities in coding x86, it's rather advanced. So anyway, let's go over to his house. Right now we're outside, making very good use of the 16 colors. Here's Carter's house, and it looks like he left the stove on. I'm going to go put that out. And then I will go grab the 387 from his desk. I now have it, so time to go home. You can see over here one of the objectives has been complete. And now I can go slam it into my PC. Please prepare for a spoiler, because I'm about to show what happens when you don't turn the stove off in Carter's house. So as you can see, it's telling me I should do that, or at least hopefully as a good person you would deduct that, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to grab it from his desk and go home and leave his stove on. It will still let you progress through the game even without turning that off. That's more of a suggestion than an objective. And there you go. You get an extra message here. Carter's house burned down. So here I'll give a brief showing of this running on real hardware. This is an early to mid-ish 2000s Windows XP grade computer that someone custom built a long time ago. And it's got an Athlon XP. It's got your typical like 1 gig of RAM, things like that. But it is still fully compatible with these older type programs. Now, even though this thing can run at gigahertz, or well, 1 gigahertz, it's still a bit slow, even slower to draw the text than it is on the VirtualBox. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. That is also the problem on some computers, even newer ones, but then some other newer computers will run it at very nice, swift speeds. So I'm not really sure what the deal is. I think because a lot of the newer computers have to go into a sort of compatibility mode rather than more of a native mode. But anyway, works fine on here besides that. And unfortunately, I've made the discovery a while back that the light green text on gray background is kind of hard to see in person on real machines. So maybe one day I'll change that, but again, it's still fine. I don't know if I explained this before. This is supposed to be a patch of carrots that's supposed to be flowers. But other than that, the game runs just fine. I started development on this game sometime in late February of this year, and after a few weeks, completed it in early March. It's been kind of a fun challenge, especially when it comes to making colors go on the screen, as previously I kind of have experimented with color, but I wasn't able to get a convenient system to make it work on a larger scale. And after some research of BIOS interrupts, I was able to find a much better system, and I was able to be more creative and flexible with putting color on the screen, which I found to be necessary, especially since it was a game and not a terminal operating system. Now as for getting this in your hands, I'm going to work on creating a download link on my website kf0cci.net, and as for running it, well, when you download it, it will come in a zip file that will have instructions embedded in it. But if you want to do it my way, it's going to be a bit complicated, especially if you want to do a floppy disk. But a much simpler way is to just rename it to an exe file and run it inside of MS-DOS or a compatible DOS. Other than that, that's it for this video, so thanks for watching.